Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, and welcome to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon. How are you all doing? I hope you find this program useful. As you're watching, please do share the broadcast. Help us to reach more and more people. We truly need your support. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay, good. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you are watching the broadcast for the first time and you haven't subscribed, please go down to Citizen AY backup channel and subscribe. Very, very important messages. This program today is going to be on two parts, but this is the first part. The first part is the Lagos elections is delicately balanced. And you will notice on the scales, it shows you the politicians on one side and the people on the other. It shows you that. And there is a reason why that's the case. It is delicately balanced because we, the people, please do share. We, the people, we are the ones who are being used as a political football by the politicians. It doesn't matter. Many of you may be in the mistaken belief that the politicians have your interest at heart. Whatever party you support, they don't have your interest at heart. And I want to explain that to you in detail. We need to go and explore, we need to explore that area. Please do share this broadcast as you're watching. If you haven't subscribed to Citizen AY on YouTube, we really would urge you to help us share that broadcast. Let us reach more and more people. We really need to begin to make proper changes to things and how we think and do things collectively. We need to not fall for the trick, and it is really, really important that the next from here on, how we deal with our interact with our politicians now. We need to take control of that situation, and I'm hoping that by having these discussions like this, we can begin to actually address this fundamental issue. But before we go too far ahead, you all know what we do on here. We're gonna try and play this song for you all to have a listen to. Let's have a look. So 1 minute. So we're gonna do this. This is the song. This song is designed to actually wake us up. So I'm hoping that we can relate to it. This song is designed to actually awaken us. It talks about how long we're not going to suffer. It's a song I wrote. It's on Spotify, on iTunes, and please do download it. We really do need your support in reaching more people. So please, as I said, if you haven't subscribed to us, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Now, here we go. Have a listen to this.
Citizen AY. My people, I throw it salute. Hey, make it like here.
So how long? How long gonna go to suffer? How long?
How long gonna go this suffer? How long?
Please do share and subscribe to Citizen AY and the backup channel.
My people, we don't tire inside Nigeria. Now slave camp we dey oh.
Now so
my people, we don't tire for the country where them they call Nigeria. Now slave camp oh. self-determination. How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long?
Yes, so how long? How long, my people?
How long? How long gonna go this suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Now he put that yeah constitution for your head, yo. That's all. Abdul Salam na fake man. Na military man can't tell you na say una get constitution. No be lie, na lie, no
Na lie, na fake.
na fraud. Oh. That yeah constitution. Now him then they claim close to na high, yo. Make una wake up, make una wake up. Sharp, sharp. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? My people, I won't make una know say oh, self-determination oh, na your right oh.
Confirm.
My people, I won't make una know say oh, self-determination na your right oh. Confirm. You must fight for your right. You must stand for your right. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people for your village, for your town, for your city, any inside country where you dey oh. Atiku,
Yes, sir.
Emilokan, or Peter Obi no be the solution. Na the solution, na it be the solution. Make una wake up, make una wake up.
Wake up.
Time down knock.
Hey, now wake up, oh. This one no be joke, oh.
I want make una know say self-determination na your right you. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? Yoruba land na your land yo. Middle belt na your land yo. Hausa land na your land yo. Biafra land na your land yo. No be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. Ra 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 ra.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Season Why, the platform where we speak truth to power. This song is available on iTunes and Spotify. How long una go dey suffer? It's in pidgin English. It's designed to actually reach as many of us as possible to raise the level of awareness in our community. You can hear the song in the background saying, how long una go dey suffer? We need to really make changes to our community. So I want to greet each and every one of you that are joining the broadcast as you're watching us. Let me just say the quick hellos and everything else to everybody that's joining, and quickly acknowledge the viewers, those of you that are watching. If you are joining us for the first time and you haven't subscribed, please endeavor to go ahead to Citizen AY on YouTube and subscribe. Citizen AY backup channel. Currently, the main platform channel has been blocked, but what we want to do is to really urge you to subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us reach more people. Bolaji George, good afternoon. Henry Obasomi, good afternoon to you. I'm trying to see if there's people on there as well. Those other three I can't see. I'm going to quickly go on to the Dua TV radio as well. We're multi-streaming on there. I just want to say a quick hello to people on each of the platforms, and then we can then proceed. Keep in mind what we're saying is that it is very, very important that we understand that we need to be asking ourselves a question: how long will I go to suffer? And of course, the issue that we're looking at Lagos elections is delicately balanced. By the way, that doesn't mean we're only focusing on Lagos. I'm just saying Lagos is a barometer to exactly the things that are going on right across the country. But for particular reasons that we are aware of, Lagos is a main focus for a lot of people. So we do want us all to be aware. Good afternoon, my brother. Good afternoon, Emmy, my brother. Thank you. Political Isabelo, you're in agreement with political interest. Yeah. No. We cannot forget about Yoruba Nation. This is part of Yoruba Nation. Trust me. The discussion is about Yoruba Nation, and it will become evident. Okay. So now, and then Michael Ayobami, thank you very much. Cheap, whatever. I'm not quite sure who that is. I'm just gonna please not make sure. Don't be sharing that here. So Ajayi Patrick, good afternoon. And Amzad Razak, good afternoon to you all. The program is going to be in English. I may put a bit of Yoruba in between now and then, as the topic moves ahead. But please, I want us to be very, very clear about one thing. Let's be very, very clear. I am for Yoruba Nation. There is no doubt about that. But I am clear about one thing. As we currently speak, we are still in a nation called Yoruba Nation. We are called in a nation called Nigeria. As much as we want to be in a nation called Nigeria, Yoruba, we are still in a nation called Nigeria. We want to be in a nation called Yoruba Nation, but we are in Nigeria. The laws and everything else that is impacting us is Nigerian laws. So what we need to do is we have to meet the people where they are. They are currently in Nigeria. We are trying to bring them with us to the journey for Yoruba Nation, to achieve Yoruba Nation. So we need to begin to engage with them on that platform. The platform as it currently is Nigeria. We need to engage ourselves within those confines and begin to awaken our people using all the means we can. So that is what we are doing here. The goal is Yoruba Nation, but we are currently in Nigeria. So the journey is to go from currently Nigeria and to achieve our destination, which is Yoruba Nation. So we're going that way. So when we're talking about this, it is all part and parcel of the strategy to go for Yoruba Nation. But we need our people to be awake first. Sadly, our people are not awake. That is why I put this picture here. Now, I'm going to do something quickly. Let me talk about this and I'll talk about the next topic. There's two topics I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about this, the Lagos elections delicately balance, and the second one is I'm going to talk about this here. If I may show you quickly, this young man, this young man, Lance Corporal Martins Idakwini, is currently in detention for over 2 years and 8 months. He's supposed to have been freed. The Nigerian military, they have a law whereby if you have not been charged to court after 9 months, they're supposed to release you. He's been in detention now for over 2 years and 8 months. The reason why I'm saying this is to show those of us who are still believing in one Nigeria that one Nigeria is not working. It is not working. This young man should not be in jail. I did a little broadcast about him yesterday. I spoke about what he was going through, and I've explained. We had a video smuggled out. A video was smuggled out where you could hear him speak. I'll try and play that later on during this broadcast. But what I'm telling you is that this is an example of Nigeria not working. This young man has done nothing wrong. The courts, they cannot. They try to take him to court martial, but they cannot put the case forward because he's actually quoting. He's using the Nigerian Army Constitution to defend himself. He's actually defending himself. Two lawyers have failed him. So he stood up for himself, and the military will not allow him to speak for himself. What I'm saying is that anybody believing in one Nigeria, one Nigeria is what is happening to this young man. One Nigeria is silencing this young man. They are refusing to give him the voice to speak. So we are here to urge us all. Let's join hands to demand that the free Martins Idakwini, the Lance Corporal, free Lance Corporal Martins Idakwini. He must be freed. He's been over 2 years and 8 months. They're supposed to be giving them something like 5,000 naira a day for food. They're giving them 500 naira a day for food. You know, this is again a man that he should not even be in jail. He shouldn't be in jail. He should not be in jail. So we want to advocate for that. I'll come back to that and talk about that later on. But let's go back to this to the main topic for now and come back and talk about that. Now, please, I want you to understand something. When we are talking about politics, and those of you who think that I'm not talking about Yoruba nation, we need to wake up our people in where they are now. Right now, our people are in Nigeria. They are not able to fend for themselves in Nigeria. So what we need to do is to empower them within Nigeria to know that they can start exercising certain powers to achieve the goal for Yoruba nation. I am not going to be one of those people that will tell you we are going to achieve Yoruba nation. Don't worry, we're going to pray and everything else and God will do it for us. I am not one of those. If you are believing in that, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you a hope. I'm not going to give you empty hope. Because to just say Yoruba nation is going to become here, we're not going to give up, we've achieved Yoruba nation without actually having a clear plan, a black print. A black print, a clear African print to master plan to achieve that. We are not going to achieve Yoruba nation on just hope alone. Hope alone is no longer enough for us to achieve Yoruba nation. So what we need to do to be able to achieve Yoruba nation is to be able to begin to plant the seeds for Yoruba nation on the same soil where we impose Nigeria. Put the seed for Yoruba nation within that soil. And when we do it, in time, it will bear fruit. It will bear fruit. And that is what I want to bring to our mind. Our people have been conditioned to believe that they have no hope. And that is why the only solution that the people know is to get money from for politicians. But I'm here to tell you it's very, very different. And I want to, the scales says a lot. The politicians on the one hand are against the people. That is what you need to understand. And people are not understanding that the politicians in the current system of governance, the politicians are against we the people collectively. And that is something that we have to collectively admit first and foremost. Please, if you are watching for the first time and you haven't subscribed to Citizen AY on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY backup channel. We really need your support. Help us grow the platform. There's a lot of information we're bringing out. And I might show one or two pictures. I want you to know that many of the politicians, all of the politicians, bar none, they are telling you to vote in elections. That's all they want you to do. They want you to vote in elections. But they are not telling you the other side of the story. And that is what we are trying to bring to your attention. The story they're not telling you and how we can now begin to use that story to free ourselves is what this show is going to be about largely. But before we go ahead, I want to show you something to make you understand that the politicians are playing a game. They are playing a game. And it doesn't matter who you support or not, their game is to ensure that they come out on top. They will win against you, the people. Don't think that they are fighting themselves. No, these people will come out, be it Labour Party, be it PDP, be it APC. They are lining their own pockets with our money. And until we collectively wake up as communities and begin to hold them to account, nothing will change. I am currently doing some work in terms of how we can bring about making the community aware and begin to hold the governors to account from the community level. It is going to be a painstakingly slow process. But we need to we have to stick with that process. We have to begin that process in our communities. And ultimately, it will lead us to the goal for Yoruba nation. But before I go too far ahead, let me just quickly do this. 1 second, I'm going to just show you something. I want you to see something so that it gives you a magnitude of what we are faced with. So, because when we're talking about it, some people sometimes don't understand. So, let's look at something. I want to show you something that I saw today. Then I might talk about one or two of the politicians, but I don't necessarily want to talk about them because it's not really about them. It's about the people. This is about you. The politicians are occupying your mind now with the lies that they're telling you. And believe you me, none of them There's no politician that can make your life better for you. I'm telling you that. You need to understand that. So here we go. Now, watch this. I want you to see this video first. Please do share as you're watching. Do share the broadcast. You're watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. Look, watch this.
Of us just reason
I want you to watch this. This is in Ogun State, oh. Look. What you see on the screen is money that has been ground into fine pits. Money. This is money that they have ground. Recall that the CBN said that they are allowed to use old money. Rather than give the money to the people to allow them to have to allow them to be able to feel, have some kind of semblance of normality in their lives, they decide to burn the money, to ground the money. Look at it. Look at it. These are carried out. These are the actions of your politicians. Oh, the actions of your politicians. And I leave none of them out. The actions of your politicians. Listen. See that? Look at that. Can you see? 50 naira note or 500 naira note. These are your politicians. That is who, when you're talking about, it doesn't matter which party now. We need to understand that it is a game of, it is very much like this picture. When you're seeing this, I want you to remember this. It is the politicians against the people. It is the politicians against the people. So let's go back to that video again. Let's go back to that video. And then we'll play it again.
Money, then grind money.
Look at that.
All this one money, then grind.
See, that's money. All that is money. All you see on the screen, that's money.
Down. See, now money be this. Then grind money, see money. See money, then grind money. See, all this one money, then grind down.
Rather than give the money out to ease the lives of the people, they ground the money. Politics is a game. And we are the people. We are the pawns in the game. We need to understand that first and foremost. I am here to make sure that all of us understand that we are mere pawns in the game. And that is what we have to get our people to rapidly wake up to. We need to have a different kind of participation in governance. So please leave comments. Please do share this broadcast. Don't forget to subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Just look at it. Look at it. Look.
See, now money be this. Then grind money, see money. See money, then grind money. See, all this one are money. See, then grind money.
And that is the money that the central bank of the courts have told the central bank to actually allow for the old money to be used until the end of this year. So why is it that the politicians have decided rather than give the money back, they're going to make the lives of the people tougher and grind the money instead of allowing the money to flow in the system? But they are the same people who are asking you to vote. Can you see now why this is a proper thing? It is a delicately balanced. Lagos elections is delicately balanced. In fact, the whole nation. It is the politicians against the people. What we need to do is to make sure that the people win through. It is no longer a game. Don't listen to the colors. Don't get tricked by the Labour Party. Don't get tricked by the APC. Don't get tricked by the PDP. It is about you, the people, and how your community will get what it needs. What it needs. Let's go back again. Let me go back again. I'll play that again, and then we can come and talk about it. You see that?
See, Nigeria people. Of us just reason now.
I want you to watch that. Please do share this broadcast as I get in. Share this broadcast.
But if you look closer now, we go see that money. And we dey suffer for Nigeria. See, they grind money, then grind money.
See that?
See, all this one are money, then grind down. See, now money be this. Then grind money.
That's money.
See money. See money, then grind money. See, all this one are money. See, then grind money. They come. See, Nigeria people.
So that is what your politicians are doing. Oh, that's the action of your politicians. Nobody else. Oh, keep that in mind. That is the action of your politicians. Nobody else. Oh, this is what your politicians are doing. So we are urging you, if you're watching this for the first time, if you haven't subscribed to Citizen AY on the backup channel, go ahead and do so. I'm going to shortly put the link up for that for those of you who haven't seen it, so that you'll be able to join us and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. We really need your support. But that picture there, what you see is money ground. Rather than the politicians allow that money to go back in circulation to aid people being able to do business. I'll show you another video. Because there was no money, plantains have rotted. Plantains have rotted because there was no money to be able to trade. And those plantains have rotted where they stood in the market. So I'm telling you, please, do not play the game of the politicians. It is really important we understand that. They are only interested in causing you, getting you to choose their side, and leave you to suffer at the end of it. I want you to know that after this election, the election is going to be one day. That election is going to be on one day, which is on Saturday, that they postponed it. It's going to be one day. And after that day, guess what happens? They are going to continue. Someone made it, please. 1 second. They will continue to oppress and suppress us. 1 minute. 1 second. Give me a minute, please. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, then I'll come back if I need to make some changes. So I'll leave the phone number as well for those of you who are on the Oduduwa TV radio as well. One second, just give me a minute. I'm just doing this as I speak to you. Okay, so now. So Professor Adebayo Oluwadamilare Bamigboye, thank you very much. So what I want you to do, look, Alhaji Aremu Oshoolale Alakufo, I'm not talking about Nigeria. You're not understanding what I'm trying to get. We have to get our people to wake up first. This is not about talking about Nigeria. If the people are still in Nigeria right now and they are not getting the roads and the water and the light, but they're talking about Yoruba Nation, how are we going to achieve Yoruba Nation without the people is the question I'm asking. And this program is designed to wake us up. It's designed to wake us up. The people, if you go and look at the video, people still depend on these politicians for money. And what we are trying to do is for them to stop depending on them for money. And we are talking about the steps we can take to stop them from depending on the politicians for money. Like I said, there is no stronger a proponent for Yoruba Nation than the likes of me. If we can get Yoruba Nation tomorrow, I would be the first in line. You will know it. You know it. You already know it. Tabale gba Yoruba lọ́la mo fọwọ́ sí. Tí ilé gbà ntón darí wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí ìlú Nàìjíríà ni. Lè party. We cannot ignore the laws of that place. We need to use those laws, and that is why I keep talking about this. We need to understand that under the current system, the politicians are against the people. The politicians are against the people. And every time you fall for their division and you're trying to fight this one and you're blaming this one, you're blaming that, the laws and how they oppress you still remains intact. They're going to get you to vote on one day. You're voting in one day. You vote currently. The next time they're going to vote now in the next election now, it's going to be 4 years from now. And they tell you that your participation in government, as far as they're concerned, is you voting. When you vote, then they do they promise you something and they do it. Have they fulfilled any of the promises to you? Have they fulfilled any promises to the people? They haven't. A lady, I'll show you videos. Let me see if I can get you that video. A lady, several ladies yesterday, they were talking about how people are suffering. The rent in Lagos is pushing Lagosians to suburbs, to other states. The rent in Eko, people like in Eko, the people, indigenous people of Eko, are having to move to Ogun State or your state, and then they will come to go and vote in elections. How does that make any sense to you? How does that make any sense? A lady was saying this yesterday, and I'll see if I can show you that broadcast. Let me see if I can get it for you, because these are the kind of things that we don't talk about. We need to really understand that the politicians are playing a game, and none of them would address this issue about the rent. Why is it that the people, the Omo Eko cannot afford to live in Eko? They are having to go, and they still have their voter card in Eko, Etiosa, and all these places, but they are living. You find them in Ogun State, you find them in Oyo State, you find them in other states. The Omo Eko, those who they are worries, they are living not in their own state, but they are telling you you have to keep Lagos, Yorubas. How is that helping them? But these are the discussions that has not been had. So I'm here to really wake us up, to make us understand that what is going on now is wrong, and it's because the people are not participating in their own governance. However much these politicians give you, it's only one day. After this Saturday coming, then they will not even come and talk to you about anything. Let me show you what I mean. There's another one I want to show you. I want to show you another video to give you an idea. It's a silent thing, and they're all like this. It's not necessarily one of them. They're all like this. All of them are like this. They are playing a game. But I'm here to tell you that we need to put a stop to their game. But it can only be achieved collectively within our community. And by doing this as a community, we take a closer step to Yoruba nation. Trust me. That is how I see it. You may not see it that way, but that is how I see it. You know? So, we need to begin to, without a community spirit, without a community spirit, we can't achieve anything. So let me just show you this now. 1 second, please. 1 second. I want you to just see this quickly to make you understand that all of these people, you will never see them. They're before the elections now. They are going to be all over your face. They'll be in your face. They are doing, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll find others if I can't find it, if I can find them. But I want to show you something, and I'll show you that lady in the middle of all of this as I'm going along with that now. Let's show you this one. I want you to see this. Again, it's not necessarily about one politician alone. It's all of them in the current system. See, look at Sanwo-Olu. You know that they are all like this. By the way, don't think it's exclusive to one side. They are all like this. So, sorry. So I want you to see that's Sanwo-Olu there. You see, is now going to the churches and shaking hands because of what? Elections. You see, all of that is to make you believe that one day is important. And they are all doing this. So it's not just PDP, it's not just APC, it's not just not just Labour Party. They are all doing this because they know that the current system, whatever they promise you in the current system, they will never achieve it because the current system will never allow them to achieve it. And we the people, we are being conditioned to not hold them to account. Voting at elections is not how you hold the politicians to account. Yes, you can vote, but your voting will not translate to you getting roads, water, light, school, bridges, healthcare, safety and security in your community. It won't. We need to understand that. Your voting will not translate to you getting roads, water, light, school, bridges, hospitals in your community. It will not. It will not. What we are doing is talking about how we are beginning to get our people to take control within each of the communities to free themselves from the bondage that we are in. And how we do it is simply beginning to now participate in our governance on a daily basis. You don't wait for the day of the election. You start from day one of this next government, whoever is going to be in power. You start from day one and start participating in your local government area community right now. That's where you start. Let me show you a video of what I mean, if I can bring that up. But you've seen the video of Sanwo-Olu there now. I'm going to bring that back up so you can see his. I'm just going to play that again. Let that loop for a bit. I'll let that loop. So you can see. I'll let it loop for a while, then I'll find the other video and I'll bring it up. What I'm saying, the point I'm making here is this, that these politicians, they are all playing a game. And we need to stop playing that game. The only way we will get the water, the light, the road, the schools, the bridges, the healthcare, the safety, security, is to go and form communities where we are going to, within our communities, begin to hold the elected officials, your local government, your chairman, your House of Assembly, your governors, your deputy governors, your House of Reps, your senators. You begin to hold them to account because you are the one paying their wages. I've talked about this a lot of times and I will keep talking about it. That's what we need to do. This election, when you vote in one day, whoever you vote for, you won't get the roads, you won't get the water, you won't get the light. You know why? Because after the elections, they don't want to see you. They avoid seeing you. They don't want to hear you. They don't even want to know that you're a voter. They don't care whether you're PDP. They don't care whether you're APC. They don't care whether you're LP. They don't care. Because now you've given them legitimacy to be in power. And they use that power for their sole personal benefit. That's what it is. That is what it is. Let me show you what this lady said. And I will then go into detail a bit more. Let me see if I can get that for you. Please do subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, the platform where we speak truth to power. Citizen AY backup channel. Please go ahead and subscribe. Let me show you a video quickly if I can find that video. It is on the platform and you will see it. Let me see. Let me come back here. Where is it? 1 second, please. I'm just trying to find it for you. Yeah, here it is. So I need you to see this video. There's something that the lady said, and we need to understand. And none of this is being addressed by any of the politicians, and that's why you will know. I want you to really understand. None of that, what they're asking for, is not being addressed by any of the politicians. What she's saying there is not being addressed by any of the politicians. So you need to understand. It is time that we collectively understand that they don't care about you. They don't care about you. The politicians simply don't care. The only people that care is yourselves. And how you begin to hold them to account is what we are trying to achieve here. And that ultimately will give us a pathway to achieve Yoruba Nation. Because it is now getting clear to everybody that Yoruba Nation is the goal for us as Yorubas. You will never get the things you want in Nigeria. Nigeria is designed to enslave. It is not designed to work. Now let me play this lady for you. I want you to hear this from this lady here. I want you to hear her because what she's saying is very profound. That's another lady there that you will hear. I might play that later. And I want you to hear this one. See.
ṣe bó rí pé Ọlọ́run gbéga níbòmí nítorí pé Ọlọ́run rí akitiyan ẹ̀ lórí Èkó ṣùgbọ́n àwọn jẹgúdújẹrá politicians Èkó yìí wọn ò ní jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ Èkó yọ jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ Èkó yọ ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run gbéṣẹ́ yọ. ẹ dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ house rentage ní Èkó problem tẹ́ni ní Èkó ní election yìí ilé gbígbà ló kọsẹ̀ fún yín because gbogbo Yorùbá tó yẹ kó dìbò fún yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọ́n ti lọ sí ẹ̀yìn odi.
Now what she said is that all of the Yoruba people that are supposed to vote for Yoruba for Sanwo-Olu or whoever, they are all outside of the state. You are talking about, this is what, listen to, I'm going to translate this for you. Let me say it to you. These are the fundamental issues. If we are going to kid ourselves, let's continue. But this lady, she's telling you the fact, and we better listen as Yoruba people. Here we go. Watch.
Ọlọ́run gbéṣẹ́ yọ. Ẹ dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ house rentage ní Èkó. problem tẹ ní Èkó ní election yìí ilé gbígbà ló kọsẹ̀ fún yín because gbogbo Yorùbá tó yẹ kó dìbò fún yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọ́n ti lọ sí ẹ̀yìn odi bíi Ṣàngó bíi Ìjẹ̀dẹ̀ níkòròdú bíi Mọ̀wé Ìbàfò bíi ibẹ̀ ló ń gbé àwọn ẹ̀yìn bẹ́gà.
So what she's saying is that most of the Èkó people who are born in Èkó, they can't afford to live in Èkó because the rent is too high for them. How many governments have dealt with that issue? And how many of the so-called politicians who are asking for your vote are talking about the concerns of the people? Do you see what I'm saying now? Now you can see it is not even about any party you vote for. That problem will continue to happen because they are not addressing the concerns of the common people. They are not addressing the concerns. What this lady said here has not come across the lips of any politician. I don't care who you talk about. You want to talk about GRV? Go ahead. You want to talk about Sanwo-Olu? Go ahead. You want to talk about Jando? They are not talking about the rentage. This lady is telling you the fundamental problem that they face. And the only people that can solve this problem are Yoruba people. Those people, the very same people who have had to leave those communities, and the remainder who are there. You need to take control within your community, and that's what we are going to try and talk about at length. This is very, very important. I want you to listen to our words. Rent. The rent that they're paying, it has gotten so high that the people who are living in those areas, who are born in those areas, they're having to move to Ṣàngó, Ikorodu, and then they will come and vote. So what is the benefit for them if they cannot even live in their own community? So those of you who are talking about, it's about this one, it's about, you're forgetting the fundamental issue. You're forgetting the fundamental issue. Let me show you the fundamental issue again. It is the politicians against the people. Whoever wins these elections, they are only going to carry on with the same procedure because the system is designed in such a way that the people will suffer. The only thing that we, the people, can do is what I'm about to show you, and I'm hoping that many of us will take that on. There are things we must do within our community. I wanted to just show you that. So please, you need to understand, first of all, it's not about one party against the other party. It's about all of the parties. It's about the APC, PDP, the Labour Party against the citizens, because they encourage you to vote in elections, but they are never around to fix the kind of problems you talked about. Rent. What have each of those parties done about rent for Lagos people? What has each of those parties done about rent for the local people? What have they done? Politicians over the years have stashed our money, exactly. Buy vote during elections. Yes, Boko Haram then changed the naira to new naira after new note is not circulated. But corrupt politicians have destroyed all their stashed looted money. That is why no one can find a naira note, both old and new. Thank you. You know, Abayo Eson. Yeah, fine. If you want to, you can keep Abayo Eson. You can keep Yoruba land out of. Okay, good. Abayo. So let me ask you that question. How can you keep Igbos out of Yoruba land if the Yoruba people cannot afford to stay in Yoruba land? They are moving out. They are moving out of Lagos. How can you do it? It's okay to make a statement, keep Igbos out, but your government, your Yoruba government, they are making the lives of the people, Yoruba people, difficult. They cannot stay in Yoruba land. That is the reality. Listen to this again. Listen to this. Listen to this lady. This lady hit the nail on the head. They're telling you to go and vote. Listen.
Rentage ní Èkó. Problem tẹ ní Èkó ní election yìí. Ilé gbígbà ló kọsẹ̀ fún yín because gbogbo Yorùbá tó yẹ kó dìbò fún yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọ́n ti lọ sí ẹ̀yìn odi bíi Ṣàngó bíi Ìjẹ̀dẹ̀ níkòròdú bíi Mọ̀wé Ìbàfò bíi ibẹ̀ ló ń gbé àwọn ẹ̀yìn bẹ́gà.
So she said it again. All the Yoruba people that would ordinarily have voted for Sanwo-Olu and others, they can no longer afford to live in Lagos. The rent prices are so high that they are moving to Songo, Ibafo, Ikorodu, Bega, all of these places that outside of Lagos to live. So if anybody's saying, oh, keep Igbos out of Yoruba land, how are you going to do it? How are the people, those in government now, this is the clear evidence, those in government now, they are not making the lives of the people that they want to vote. A Yoruba person, granted, you said they would rather vote for a Yoruba person, like you're saying. But let's not forget, Gbadebo is half Yoruba, his dad is Yoruba, his mom is Igbo. So, but I'm just saying, I'm not interested. I don't want to play that game. But what this lady said, what this lady said is what is happening. What this lady said, the people, Omo Eko, they are having to leave Lagos, but nobody is addressing it. If you are going to tell your Lagosians, okay, vote for Sanwo-Olu, but the Lagosians are having to move out. Who are the people? How is it that they've rented? The government has not addressed the rent issue to make sure that Lagosians either have some subsidy so they can live within their own community. But now when they move out, you are saying, no, you have to vote for us. And he's reduced to going to shake hands in ministries and everything else and dance in the church. This is far deeper a problem than meets the eye. It is not a simple, Yoruba must vote. They are being moved out. They are being moved out. They can't afford to stay. They are having to go outside of Lagos. So that is a fundamental issue right there. Now, for me, on the issue of Lagos being Lagos, Eko being Eko, or somebody who suddenly become your Igbo land, I can tell you for a fact. Let me give you an example. In London here, in London, it is the capital of UK. It is one of the most diverse capitals in the entire world. That you will find, if you're looking for a Yoruba person, you will find Igbo, you will find Hausa, you will find Cambodian, you will find Chinese, Russian, whatever you find, whatever nation in this earth, you will find them in London. But London is what will always be. It will always be London, a British capital. Nobody can take that away. Scottish people will come from Scotland. They will come and stay. The Welsh will come and stay. But it will always remain British. London is central to London. It will not be taken over by somebody. The same thing would apply to Lagos. That is, I don't want to, let us just disabuse our minds from that it's a scare tactic. It's a scare tactic. We need to understand they're playing a game. This lady is telling us the fundamental issue. The rent, people cannot afford to stay in their own land. Some of them have they're registered in Lagos and they are living outside. Many are in that category. How do you solve that problem? That is what she's talking about. And that is interesting. If we are going to solve Yoruba Nation, if we are going to go for Yoruba Nation, how do we deal with that issue? How do we deal with it? Because if we become Yoruba Nation, it's not suddenly going to go away. It isn't. But what we're talking about is beginning to address those issues. And that is the fundamental thing that many people fail to see. So when we're talking about, everything I'm talking about relates to Yoruba Nation. Without the people being in a situation whereby they can determine their own future, they cannot make it. We can't go for Yoruba Nation. As much as I want Yoruba Nation, we cannot achieve it under the current circumstances because the people don't even know how to get themselves, how to hold their governors to account. If we suddenly get Yoruba Nation now, let's say we get Yoruba Nation, and the same people are here now, in the same people who are going to be Yoruba Nation are the same people who are there currently now. And they are being oppressed already in their land. Isn't it better that we wake them up so that they know the steps they can take to hold their governor to account? So now when you now go to Yoruba Nation, they are now prepared to be actively participating in their governance. That is the central issue here. So I don't want people to get this idea to start making we're making a big mistake. We are playing into the hands of the politicians. We are playing into the hands of the politicians. This lady, I could play what she said there over. That hit me. When she said that, it hit me right in the core. I was like, whoa, yay. Woman, she said it all. Listen again, oh. Listen. And no politician, neither Labour, neither PDP, nor APC, has even mentioned any talk about rentage and people moving out. They've not mentioned it. They just say vote. You can see they don't care about you. They don't care about you. Listen, oh.
ẹ dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ house rentage ní Èkó problem tẹ ní ní Èkó ní election ilé gbígbà ló kọsẹ̀ fún yín because gbogbo Yorùbá tó yẹ kó dìbò fún yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọ́n ti lọ sí ẹ̀yìn odi bíi Ṣàngó bíi Ìjẹ̀dẹ̀ ní Kòròdú bíi Mọ̀wé Ìbàfò bíi ibẹ̀ ló ń gbé àwọn ẹ̀yìn bẹ́gà. An average man cannot live in Lagos comfortably. Ọmọ Igbo kún everywhere kó tó kọ́lé kan tán tó bá kọ́ new building nígbà tí wọ́n ń gbé room and parlour safe tí ò tún ṣe standard house tí ò ń ṣe standard room tí wọ́n ń gbé lẹ́nẹ̀ ní 600 650 wọ́n gbàgbé mẹ́ta commission 100,000 ẹ̀yin ìjọba jókòó síbi ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ Igbo wa dominate ètò Èkó tán ẹ̀tọ́ owó ẹ̀ta.
You see what she's saying? That's the reality. People will not tell you what is going on. Oh. People will not tell you what's going on. You see, when they say, oh, the Igbos are doing this, is it not the same policy of the same government that brought this about? I'm just asking, no. You heard what you said. 600,000 for a room and a parlor. 600,000. Listen again, no. Listen, no. Listen. Listen.
An average man cannot live in Lagos comfortably. Ọmọ Igbo kún everywhere kó tó kọ́lé kan tán tó bá kọ́ new building nígbà tí wọ́n ń gbé room and parlour safe tí ò tún ṣe standard house tí ò ń ṣe standard room tí wọ́n ń gbé lẹ́nẹ̀ ní 600 650.
Standard house is not a standard house, so 600,000 naira, 650,000 naira. So the Igbos are coming in and get it, but the Yorubas don't have that access. Is this not the fault of the government policy? This is the policy of the government. That's the reality of they're reaping what they sow. So quite a part of somebody, it's not like these people suddenly decide, the Igbos suddenly decide to come in. The government action in controlling and moving their own people out, they are reaping what they sow. I be a lie. Please, let me know. Tell me if I'm lying. They are simply reaping what they sow. So now they want to create, you can see now, they want to create this situation whereby they blame somebody else for their actions. So these are the kind of things we need to understand. Part and parcel of what we're saying here relates to how we are going to achieve Yoruba Nation. I want you to believe me on that. It relates to it strongly. But we have to first exceed the problems. Once we understand the problem, see what the problem is, now we can now see the solution to the problem. That's what I'm trying to do here. So
100,000.
So 100,000, 3 years. Let me see.
Commission 100,000.
Let me see.
650. Commission 100,000.
So I think she said they are collecting about 3 years, 650 for 3 years. I mean, how are Yoruba people supposed to live in their own land? So when an Igbos come in and they get the stuff, so if the government policy is not helping the people, but you want the people to vote, and please don't forget, there are some Yorubas, we have to say this, who who are voting for Labour Party as well. That's the reality. It's not a one-way street. Are you telling me that the people who cannot no longer live in Lagos, they will still continue to vote for Sanwo-Olu? They can't, because they can't afford to live in their own community. So they've got a grudge already against the government. But people are not looking at this foundation. These are the foundation of when people come and say, "Oh, it's simple, not in our land." This lady has explained what is the government doing about the rent and how much the rent the people are paying. What is the government doing? So we ask questions about this. You don't just go, "Oh yes, the Igbos are coming in." She said it. 650,000 for not even a room and a parlor. It's uncompleted, and people are paying. And I think something like they're paying 3 years and commission. So let us really begin to understand what is being done here. So I wanted to put that before you. Now, what I want to do, and again, please keep in mind, the same people who have made it difficult for you, they did this to the money that you could have even been used to help yourself. This is what they did to the money. Oh, those of you joining, listen. This is in Ogun State, by the way. Watch.
Of us just using now. I beg, what is this? What is this? Well, I don't feel no. But if you look closer now, you will see that money. And we dey suffer for Nigeria. See, they grind money.
They grind money.
Grind money.
That's cruel.
All this one are money, then grind.
Those are your government.
See, now
you
money
need to wake up.
You
see?
Then grind money. See money. See money. Then grind money. See. All this one are money. See. Then grind money. They come. See, Nigeria people.
You see? That's your governance. That's your governance. And that is what she's talking about. She's absolutely right. What is the government doing about the rent for the people, the local people who are having to live? So they live outside, and now they want to vote. They will have to travel in. And you're not even going to pay for the transporting. Then, you know, and they have to, so we shouldn't be surprised with what's happening in Lagos. Because those in government, they are reaping what they sowed. They are simply reaping what they sowed. People you may not like to hear this. So, one year to talk koro, àmọ́ láti sọ náà ni. Ìjọba tí ò pèsè rent kó jẹ́ kó rọrùn fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá láti gbé ní ilẹ̀ wọn nílẹ̀ tí bá tán bí wọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Wọ́n wá jáde, wọ́n lọ sí Kòròdú, Ìbàfọ̀, Ṣàngó, wọ́n lọ gbé. They are going to live outside. So how will they vote for you since you chase them out by your policies? How will they vote for you? Wow, explain. But they're not talking about that. But this is what they do. Instead of addressing that, this is what Sanwo-Olu is doing. Let us show you what Sanwo-Olu is doing. Instead of addressing those issues, this is what Sanwo-Olu is doing. Let's let that, but this is what he's doing. He's going to churches and targeting the churches and shaking hands of the people. How does that solve the problem of Lagosians, Eko people, not being able to live in their own community, having to move out? How does that solve it? How does it? We have to be very, very honest with ourselves. They are playing a game. So I'm just putting that here, and this lady will come back again in the discussion. I might play another section again where you see that it is time that we take steps ourselves. I'm going to show you something. Let me go and do something quickly. Here is the solution. I want us to think of solutions. And the solution is a way for us to achieve something. Look, I'm going to show you something quickly. Before I go too far ahead. Already as we speak on Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power, go to citizenay.org. We have a proposed constitution. Now that doesn't mean that that's what's going to be, will be used, but it's a proposed an idea that the constitution that we will have in Yoruba Nation. But to achieve this is the proposed constitution that's been written by a group of people, Michael Awosonya, and signed by him, as part of this is back in 2021. So we have a proposed constitution for Yoruba Nation, but we haven't got the space to actualize that. So please, I want you to understand what I'm saying. When we talk about Yoruba, when we're talking about Nigeria, the fact I'm talking about Nigeria, because we have to take the journey from currently Nigeria into Yoruba Nation. So that is what they've got there. Right to dignity, right to life, citizenship, Every natural person having one parent with Yoruba ancestry is a Yoruba citizen. I just want to put that out there. That's part of what they listen to that. Look at that. I want you to think about that. Those of you talking about this and that and this and that and that, every mature person, this is part of the proposal for Yoruba Nation. Every natural person having one parent with Yoruba ancestry is a citizen of Yoruba Nation. Just putting it as a, just so we understand. So let me go back to the next page. I'll come back and look at the one. Now I want you to go. This is where I really want to go. This is where I want to go. I want you to go onto the Nigerian Constitution. Please, every time I show this Constitution, it doesn't mean I support it. It means that we need our people whose lives are being affected by it to know what is within that Constitution and to know how to empower themselves within their community. That's what we're trying to do. So when you see me showing this, it's not about my support for Nigeria. No. It's about empowering the people to know the steps they can take to free themselves. So let's go to number 15 on the page 15. I want you to see this. I'm going to enlighten, make this larger, because I want you to really, if we forget anything else, then we can, we can forget that. Please, I want you to understand that these key points here that I'm about to highlight, in every community, we need to teach it in every community. I'm going to come back again and do this in Yoruba. These are the things we need to do. You've seen that the politicians don't care about you. They, rather than give you money, they ground the money to rubbish. Throw it away. But they want you to vote for them. You've seen it. So we, the people, must take collective action. Everything I've showed you, the fact that they've made it impossible for you to pay your rent, everything I've showed you is to point you to the problems that have been created by the very system that is asking you to vote for it. But here I am showing you the steps we collectively can take within our community to begin to hold them to account. Let me see if I've got a paperwork that can back up what I'm about to show you a bit more. Let me see if I can. 1 second. Let me see if it will work. I don't know. I'm going to try something briefly. Okay, that's the other one. I'm not ready to show that yet. I wanted to show something else. Okay, know your rights. Yeah. I want you to. Yeah, I'm probably going to show this again as a way. I might show this to back up what I've done before. But here is what you really need to understand. The election only happens once every 4 years. To participate in your governance, it must be something that you do on a daily basis. If you want roads in your community, if you want water in your community, if you want light in your community, if you want schools in your community, if you want bridges in your community, if you want hospital in your community, if you want public facilities in your community, then your voting once every 4 years is not the solution. I want you to take care of your mind now. Your voting once every 4 years is not the solution. And it will not be the solution when we go for Yoruba Nation. It will not be. You will need to begin to participate in your governance. That is why the key point I'm showing you now is of extreme importance. We are encouraging every community in each of the local government areas, particularly in Yoruba land, to begin to hold their governance to account. How do you do that? You need to know two things. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. The problem is our people have not been aware of this information. And we are trying to make our people aware of it so they can begin to hold them to account. That is what we are trying to do in everything that we're showing you here now. And it is very, very, very important that people begin to understand how just how important that is. And that's what we're trying to every community. Every community. The politicians will never solve your problem. The politicians will never solve your problem. You remember what the lady said? The rent is so high, people are moving out. But what have the politicians done about it? They've ignored it. But now that it's becoming a problem, oh, it's being taken over by Igbos. It's the policy of the APC government that have led to many Yorubas leaving Lagos, going to Sango, going to Ibafo, going to Ikorodu, because they can't afford it. But the government, the Lagos government, the government in power, they didn't care about that. But now they're going to say the Igbos are the problem. Who is the problem? I hope you can see that. Who is the problem? Is it the Igbos or is it the policy of the government? I'm only asking simple questions. Now, the next thing I want to ask you is this. The best way to deal with this, to say to you is this. The best way to solve this problem collectively is not to do what they're doing here. I'm going to show you something. This is another part I'm going to show you. Let me go and show you another video. Let's go back to another video here. Yesterday, this video came into hand as well. Now, people were coming together. And this is why I'm showing you this. Now, listen to this for a bit. So, what you see is a group of people there. They were in Ikorodu. Apparently, some arrangement has been done between themselves and the APC, the ruling party. And now, after the elections, they still have not been paid. So they're saying the coming elections in Saturday, we're not going to vote unless you receive money. We're not going to vote unless you receive money. Now, the point I want to bring out in this particular thing is this. It is obvious to me that the people can organize themselves to demand for money. But that money is peanuts compared to what you are actually entitled to, if only you understand how the constitution works and how you can use it to hold your government to account. If people can come together like this to demand money, then they can come together to do exactly what I've just showed you, which is, let me bring that back down and just show this one, which is to now use your sovereignty, because your community, your local government area, each area is a sovereign, and you need to work as a sovereign. Interestingly enough, they all came together. I'll play you the bit. They all came together and they were all screaming, we want our money. But that money, they're giving you 1,000 naira, is not going to solve your healthcare. It's not going to solve your road. It's not going to solve your schools, or the rent for you in the community, or the hospital, or the light, or the public. It's not going to solve all of that. What will solve it is if you have a daily or weekly meeting whereby you begin to work together in each of your communities collectively, and begin to hold your local government official, your local government councillor, your local government chairman, your House of Assembly. Every community needs to have a group of people who will stand together. Minimum between 100 to 200 of you in every community. Stand together. Then do division of labor. Some of you will be dealing with roads. Some of you will be dealing with water. Some of you will be dealing with electricity. Some of you will be dealing with hospitals. And you all have a meeting. You need to know who your local government official is. I will show you something about that in due course. But here's what I'm going. Everybody must know that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers. 14.2a. Please, I want you to memorize that bit. You need to memorize that in every community. Sovereignty belongs to the people. Your community is part of Nigeria. For that reason, you possess possess something called sovereignty. Sovereignty is when you reside in a group of in a land whereby the government puts together all your sovereignty and uses it to preside over the people, because they derive powers from the collective gathering together of the sovereignty from each of our communities. That's how they derive power. It's not from the air, it's not from God, it's from you, the people. You are in control, you have the power. And we're trying to explain this to change your mindset. Your mindset has been skewed to believe that you are powerless. No, this is information, and we've translated this into Yoruba. Please, those of you in Igbo, translate it for Igbo people as well. But I'm just showing you the steps we need to take now. So that's one. So you need to know that you have sovereignty. Now the second part of this thing is this, to understand. Two, and that's why I highlighted it. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. So what is this in effect saying? That you as a citizen, you have a right to participate in your governance. How do you participate? What that lady was doing when she talked about the fact that the government was making things difficult for the people, that is one way of participating. Begin to hold them to account. Why are you making the lives of the people impossible? But now the next step of it is not only to complain, but to demand for rectification of whatever is wrong. By standing together collectively in each of the communities, combining sovereignty with the participation in government as mandated within the constitution, you can achieve it. Because if you leave the road building to the politician, it will never happen. If you leave the schools to the politicians, it will never happen. If you leave your electricity to the politicians, it will never happen. They will come and give you excuses, and they will build a walkover rickety bridge and tell you, oh, they're commissioning. This requires our active participation. Please, voting in elections is not the same thing as participation in your governance. Participation in your governance means that you are now using the powers within the constitution to hold the officials, the local government councillors, the local government chairman, the state of House of Assembly member, the governors, the deputy, the House of Reps, the Senate, even the president. You are holding them to account, and they must answer you, because the sovereignty that you're using, it belongs to you, and you can use it to hold them to account, and they have to answer you. We need to change the mindset of our people. So those women who are going here saying they should come and get money, they need to stand together and demand that they have electricity in their community, rather than asking for money. But if they stood together and say, no, this community, we have elected you into office, you need to do our bit. We have to train, and we will train each community how to do this. That is what must be done. It's about training each of the community to begin to hold and question those they have in governance to account. So let me listen to this. Let's listen a bit more to what she said here a bit more. And you hear somebody else as well. And keep in mind, people say, they say to me, we cannot do that. Well, if you can stand together and go and demand money, you can stand together and begin to focus on the key things you need in your community, like water, light, road, schools, bridges. So what? There's a lot of people here. So the evidence that we already do this, but this time we need to tweak our thinking and apply it to the things we need, rather than the things that are not good, that are mere illusions. Here we go. You see? So you can see now, they know, they said they did the work for them in the presidential election, and they haven't been paid. So what that tells you is that you need to now know, you can see look at the amount of people there. We need to come together as a community, one community to the next, and begin to hold them to account, just like you're trying to do here. But this one, you need to understand that even the money that they're paying you is your public money. It's your own funds that they're taking from to pay you. So I'm hoping that this will wake our people up. Honestly speaking, this is really important. Let's watch on. Listen. So can you imagine if every community gathered around like this, and we begin to do something which I'm going to show you. We begin to hold our governors to account. If every community, instead of asking for money, say, no, we paid you. We are paying your wages. We are paying your for your allowance. We are the building that you are in. We are the ones paying for it. We are telling you that we want roads, water, light in our community. We show them pictures of how bad it is. We don't want your money. We want them fixed. And if we stand together like this, like they are doing, and have people talk about it, they even organize themselves. You saw that one person came, they spoke, this one will talk. Listen, we can do this. We can do it. That's the point I'm trying to make here. We have the solutions. The question is, are we willing to take the solutions collectively? That's the question. Listen on.
Ní orúkọ tèmi tèmi bá yín sọ̀rọ̀, orúkọ mi ni Ọmọdọ̀lápọ̀ Adéníṣù. Mo wà ní wọlé ní Lagos Road, First Bank. Láti 15 years mo ti wà ní Ìkòròdú yìí. Mo máa ń ṣe òṣèlú láti Mushin ni. Ìgbà tí mo kọ́ dé kò.
Now, she said she used to do part of the party when she was in Mushin. She's part of the people that couldn't afford to live in Mushin, and my goodness me, and she moved down to Ikorodu. You remember what that lady was saying at the beginning? Have you forgotten? Let me show you. This lady has just proven what the lady said. She moved from Mushin to Ikorodu because of the issue of the cost of houses, the cost of renting in Lagos. They move further out, and let me show you. Don't just hear my word. Let me show you. I'll come back to this one. Let me show you. I need to show you this bit. Let me show you. I want you to listen to this again. She spoke about it. Now. She talked about people cannot live in Lagos. And that lady
election ilé gbígbà ló kọsẹ̀ fún yín because gbogbo Yorùbá tó yẹ kó dìbò fún yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọ́n ti lọ sí ẹ̀yìn odi bíi Ṣàngó bíi Ìjẹ̀dẹ̀ níkòròdú bíi Mọ̀wé Ìbàfò bíi ibẹ̀ ló ń gbé.
So that lady has moved from Mushin to Ikorodu. The lady who was talking, demanding money, she has moved from Mushin to Ikorodu. As evidence, listen again.
Ṣàngó bíi Ìjẹ̀dẹ̀ níkòròdú bíi Mọ̀wé Ìbàfò.
Ikorodu. She's moved. Now let's go back again and listen to what she said. And this is why I'm asking you to we have to take collective action, and we must devise a way. So she's part of the very people that the government that she's serving made the lives of the people. They failed to make sure that her as a person she was originally from Mushin, she ended up in Ikorodu. So can you see now, when they are talking to you and saying, oh, the Igbos are taking over, the policy of the government is impacting the people. Do you see it? I hope you are seeing it all. Please do share this broadcast. Here, we don't do tito-tato. We're here to talk about facts, so that we understand. I will try and do this in Yoruba later on the Oduduwa TV radio as well. But I wanted to do this in English because we need to really understand what's going on. That lady, when I saw that yesterday, then I was like, wow. You see, this is the problem we face, but not being discussed. Tell me which of the candidates are talking about the rent for the local people. Tell me which of them. Tell me which of them. I'm happy, tell me which of them. Bolaji George, thank you very much. Thank you, my brother. Which of them are talking about rent? You will not find any of them talking about rent. And that's the issue, Yeah, corruption. Thank you. Igbo is not your problem. Yes. Corrupt constitution are you listening? Yes, are you listening to Citizen AY? Thank you. These are the things that I'm saying here. So we need to be very clear of what is being done here. They're playing a game. But I'm telling you, don't even play the game. You need to take control of that constitution. Once you start taking control of that constitution, you can then take control and rip it apart by going for a referendum. You have that power. You have that power. Oh my goodness me, my people. I wish you could get what I'm trying to say. So now I'll play this one for a second. Let me play it to let you, let her land. So here we go. You see, that's what people are misunderstanding. They're talking about that when they do the canvassing, that they will pay for them and they will pay them, and they say that's their right. I'm sorry, that's not even your right. Your right is the right. You have the right to good roads, water, light, hospital, safety, security. That's your right. But because they've so brainwashed many people, they've forgotten their rights, and that is why we need you to stand in the community collectively. Community by community, you need to stand together in each of the communities. And like I said, I've got some of the books in Yoruba. I'm going to do the translation, do this again in Yoruba, live on air. And I've got a book that I've done. I'm going to be working on that, and we're going to be doing a teaching material that's going to be used to tell you the steps you can take to empower your community. I mean, the community is ready. The community, I can see a community behind the lady in the picture. There is a huge community, but they've been directed the wrong way. What we are hoping to do is to be able to engage the community and then show them this. Show the community and teach them how to exercise this. Number one, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through its constitution, derives all its authority. So that's number one. Number two, the participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. So you have the right to participate. So those two will combine. And instead of worrying about elections every 4 years, every single week, all of the people who are in this picture here, the people behind, every one of you need to come together and division of labor. Some of you will deal with roads, i.e. you're going to interact with your local councillor. You will bring him round to your community. This road has not been fixed. I elected you into office. Your local government, where's your local government chairman? You bring them in. You tell them collectively, you come together, and you have to be in a minimum of 10 to 20 of you all, showing them around. Some of you will deal with roads. Some of you will deal with water. Some of you will deal with light. Some of you will deal with hospital. Some of you will deal with schools. Some of you will deal with public facilities. So your participation will now mean that you don't have to wait for the next 4 years before you talk about this problem. You start talking about the problem and making sure you're on their case every week. When you do that, they will fix it for you. Without that participation, you won't get good roads. You won't get water. You won't get light. You won't get schools. You won't get anything. Of course, they don't want you to think about that. So that's why they tell you to go to church, go to the mosque. And that is what we are here to do. I know these are uncomfortable facts that many people don't want to hear. But these are the things that we need to do from one community to the next, literally. Because if you don't do that, there's not even a point in going for Yoruba Nation, going for Biafra Nation. There's no point, because you are not already exercising this. You are part of the machinery. Your role is so important. If you don't do your role, then whatever system you create, it will not work. You need to participate. Like I said, you need to. Let me go again. You need to exercise your sovereignty. Your community is a sovereignty. When you come together like that and you begin to take on task and put it before each of the local government councillors, the local government chairman, House of Assembly, state governors, deputy governor, House of Reps, senators, all of them, you begin to take the task every day, because one day cannot solve the problem in your community, but 4 years working on it together, it will solve it. It will solve it. Now, when you begin to empower, and that gives you, once you realize that if you start doing that together, it might take you 6 months to make sure that the roads in your community is all done. Once you do that, okay, so that becomes a template for your community. By working together, by putting focus and holding them to account collectively, never go alone, go as a group. You fix that. So when they fix the road, okay, thank you. We see that you can fix the road, and then you do the same thing again for light. You put, these are the steps we need to take. Because if you just think that you vote and you be quiet and you think you will get good roads, it will not happen. It will not happen because you are not doing your role. You are mandated under section 14(2)(c) to participate in governance, and the participate is you hold them to account, you question them, you go in groups. Each community exercises your sovereignty. Each community. It's not about the politicians anymore, it's about you. It's no longer about the politicians, it's about you. What role are you prepared to play in developing your own community? What role? And I will keep saying this until we get that message. Until you participate, just like they did. I know they can participate. This is brilliant. Look at the people behind this lady. They suddenly participated in demanding money to promote a party, but they failed to participate in demanding for what is rightfully theirs: water, light, road, schools, bridges, healthcare, safety in your community. Can you see? Can you see what we are saying? Is this making sense? Does this make any kind of sense? Type 1 if what I'm saying is beginning to make sense. It's not your voting in any elections once every 4 years that makes a difference. It's your participation in seeing a fault in your area and beginning to hold those you elect into office. Those politicians who are begging for your votes now. I promise you, when you start doing this, they will think twice before they even come to vote, because they know you will be asking them questions. And it's not only going to be you, your community. It has to be a community. Look, these are an entire community that came out in Ikorodu. So if they can come out for money, they can come out for their right, as in terms of road, water, light, schools, bridges, all of these things. They can come out for that. So we can do this. This is a blueprint I am putting before you. I'm sure. Let me watch it. Let's watch again. I'll play it from beginning, and you see. I want you to notice the amount of people that were in that place. Imagine those amount of people working together to demand for roads in their community, for light. If you work together, imagine that. That is the solution right there. That right there is the solution. Let's go on. Here we go. See? There must be at least 50 to 100 people there. That is a community. That energy must be directed towards the infrastructure needs that they need in each of the community. Not one day, not 2 days. We're talking every day. And divide that labor, division of labor, it is doable. Because they've exercised that for money. Because they voted, they canvass for elections, they want money. But what we are saying, you canvass for your roads, you canvass for your schools, you canvass for your light, you canvass for your water in your community, community by community. I guarantee you, everybody in government will sit up. Without your participation in your local government area, your roads will not get better. I'm telling you, take it or leave it. Without your participation in your own community, the hours that you spend, like I said, if you spend 10 hours in the church, spend 2 hours in the church, take 8 hours and put it in canvassing about how you are going to fix your roads in your community. It starts with you. It starts with you. Don't worry. If you start doing that, the politicians will start worrying about yourselves, organizing yourselves in your community. They will be afraid. They will be afraid to come in because they know that they will have to face responsibility and take on that task. Up until now, they just said, oh, we told you, you promised us you do it. No. The part that we must play that is critical is the participation. The participation means that you hold them to account. This part here, the participation by the people in the government, you must participate in it. You can no longer be bystander. And that is what we are trying to get you to understand. Just look at the amount of people they can participate. It's no excuses anymore. I'm not one of those people who are going to come and make an excuse and let's pray. If you are going to pray and you're not participating, what's the point of your prayer? If you are going to pray in the church all night, but you're not going to participate in ensuring that that road in your community is fixed, that light in your community is fixed, that school in your community is fixed, that hospital in your community is fixed, of what use is your prayer when it is your job stated within the constitution to work as a community to fix that? I'm not here to, if you are going to do that, you can be the most holy person in the church, the most holiest person in Quran, or the Babalawo. But if you are not playing your part in this participation as highlighted here, I'm showing you, if you're not playing that part, then we are fooling ourselves. It is as simple as that. We are fooling ourselves. So I'm here to tell you that if we are going to go for Yoruba Nation, this is the very same thing we will need to do. The people must take part. You can no longer stand aside and expect that the roads that you will be fixed, your road to be fixed by you just simply voting once at an election. It is an illusion. It is a lie. You need to be organizing yourselves on a week-to-week basis. That is the solution. Anybody telling you let us pray, and you are not participating on a week-to-week basis in fixing your roads within your community, in ensuring that the council come to fix your road, the councillor, the local chairman, everybody, the House of Assembly, you go to there, you begin to pester them, you begin to cost, because the election is only once in 4 years. Once. The problem you have will last for more than 4 years. And you're thinking that when you vote in that election, which is a fraud in any way, will solve your problem? Come on. Wake up. Wake up, my people. We need to hear the cold, hard truth. I'm not going to mess around here. I'm going to tell you the truth. If we do not participate in our governance, such as exercising the powers within the constitution right now, I know the government have hidden this from us. The likes of myself, we are now beginning to expose it to you so you can take hold of it. What each and every one of you watching me can do right now is to begin to share this message in every community. If the community is spending hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, nights in vigil, and you are in the church, in the mosque, but you are refusing to spend 8 hours of a week, just 8 hours a week as a minimum, in beginning to come to organize yourselves and ensuring that the light in your area is fixed by speaking to the council about it, by having meetings with him, by following up, by going to the local chairman, by speaking to the House of Assembly, by making sure that right now, I'll tell you another secret. The local government, I'll see if I can get that document for you. 1.5, the local government were given 1.457 trillion naira. They were supposed to be given that. But that money is in the state accounts. The states are not releasing that money. That is why your local government is suffering. They are not releasing the money to local government. You can go and say, because my road is not fixed, you are sitting on the money. You have to become active in your governance. Going to church and not going into being part of your participating in your local government is a waste of your time. You will never get that road fixed. Going to a mosque, instead of participating in your local government area, the roads in my area, are they fixed? No. Okay, I'm part of a community. I'm a part of a committee on roads. Okay, my light in my area is not fixed. I'm part of the committee on light. The schools in my area, they're not fixed. I'm part of the committee on schools. And we begin to work together like that. Because we are the most important part in all of in this wheel. If we don't play our part by holding the government to account, they won't fix it. The question about the rent, the people in that area, if they start participating, the rent in this place is crazy, it's unfair. You start talking to the local government council. You start saying the rent, this is the time they're paying. The people are living in the community. They will do something. But if you go quiet, they won't fix, and that's why people are leaving. Because we are not playing our part. And what is our part? Participation in our own governance. Participation in our own governance. Participation in our own governance. I want you to share this video. This video is fundamental. If anybody is going to call, I'm not on this platform. I'm not coming here to go and say, "Oh, God help me," hey, this and that. And we have the solution to the problem before us. But how many of us are prepared to take that step? That is the question. And if you're not prepared to take that step, are you prepared to learn how to take that step? Are you prepared to learn? Because if you don't learn, you can't do it. And we're trying to show you the steps. You need to work together in the community, community by community. This has to, for this to work, it requires the effort from all members of the community. If you're spending 10 hours in the church, but you're not even focused on how your roads are bad, you're using the same road, you're complaining that the road is bad, the road, there's no light, but you're not doing anything as a community. You're not joining the committee on roads to fix the road. You're not joining the committee on light to fix the light. You're not joining the committee for schools to fix the but you're just saying, oh, it's bad, the government is bad. Then you are part of the problem. Oh. I know you don't want to hear this, but that is what must happen. And I know that we can do this. This has proven to me that when people are coming together to demand money like this, it means that we know we have the skills there. What we're trying to do is to now begin to wake us up to steer it in the right direction, because the government has hidden this from us. They've hidden the fact that we have this power. And I'm here to let you know you have the power to exercise that power, to be able to hold them to account. That's all you need to do. Once you start doing that, the roads you want will materialize. The schools you want will materialize. The bridges we want will materialize. We won't even have to send money to you at home. And let me see if I can find that thing for you. Let me see if I can find that to you. Find that for you. 1 second. I want to find it. Federal government releases, let me see, give states, local government. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second, please. I'm going to find it for you quickly. 1.457 billion naira. Let me see if I can find it for you. I want you to see what I'm saying here. Let me see if I can find it. December 2022. I just want to get 2022. I just want to find it for you quickly because I know it's there. I just wanted to show you, because if you do not play your part, they will sit on that money. And that's what I'm trying to get us all to understand. In Nigeria. Let me see. See if it makes sense. I hope it comes up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. This is for November. This is for November. We need to play our part. You see, federal government allocation has shared 902.53 billion for 3-tier government federation. You see? So states received and local government received 204.13 billion. Can you see? Can you see that? Let me go on. I want you to highlight this one. This is your local government area. This is money meant for your local government area. You see? This is money meant for your local government area. If you do not play your part and hold them to account, nothing will change. If you do not play your part and begin to, the local government, the state government are sitting on that money. And unless you put pressure on the local government and the state House of Assembly, you have to go to the state House of Assembly and start showing them this figure. This is the money that was released. We have no roads in our community. Why is that money not coming in? You have to participate in your own governance. If you are spending 10 hours in the church and you're not looking at this, there's a problem. If you are spending 10 hours in the church and you're not looking at what I'm telling you, there's a problem. Yes, community groups participate. Thank you very much, my brother. I'm so glad somebody's following what I'm saying. Please share this broadcast. This is what we need to do. Community groups that participate in governance. Bro, Edmond, thank you so much. That is exactly the message I'm trying to put forward. And I want as many of us. This is so important. It won't take so much of our time. Initially, it will do. But when we start doing it and we start teaching every community, in every house, everybody must spend at least 8 to 10 hours a week on community improvement. We need to, this is something, but okay, anybody that comes in, oh, welcome to the community. Okay, this is what we need to do. Here's, you have to commit your time. You have to, because we want roads. Because, if you are going to complain about roads in your community, but you don't want to put the time on it, but you want to spend 10 hours in the church, then you are joking. You are joking. This is December. There was 1 trillion that was given to them in January. I think, is it January? But this is how much the local government has got. But that money is being sat on by the state government. You, as a local community, you can go to the State House of Assembly as a group and demand that money be released. And you get evidence. That is what we call participation. Without taking part, you can pray all you want. Your prayer will not achieve anything. I guarantee you, your prayer will be zero. Your prayer will all do zero. Without participation in governance, but such as I'm telling you, your prayer is zero. Yes, zero. My people, I hope you find this beneficial. This is really, really important information. I want you to know this is what is going on right now. This is what is going on right now. The politicians are against the people. The politicians are after, and I've just given you the evidence. They did not translate the constitution for you into your languages, so you will never know how to question them. We are beginning to show you. The question is, are you ready to take that step? Every community, this is a path to getting what we need. Once we start achieving this, the minute we start achieving this and start getting roads, we are getting closer to getting Yoruba Nation. Trust me. Trust me. But just waiting and going to any church. Listen, if you listen to anybody telling you, this one, I see a vision, I see that, you're wasting your time. The blueprint is in front of you. Ask yourself, you watching me, ask yourself the question, are you participating in your own local government area? How many hours do you spend? Do you organize yourselves? For the road that is bad, that you walk past, how many hours are you spending on that road to see that, okay, you call your local government, listen, this is not good, for our benefit. That hospital that's not in your place, how many hours have you spent? Ask yourself that question, and if the answer is not there, start organizing to yourselves in your community. This has to be done community by community, not by one person. No. And that is what the government don't want. They don't want you to wake up to that reality, that you can do it. You have the power to make it. You have the power, and the money is there. The money is there. Look, this is just December gone. 204.130 billion per state. So don't let anybody tell you haven't got money. The thing that is missing is that none of the state, local government, none of the communities are participating in their own governance. And that's the reality. Take it or leave it. That's the reality. We need to say it like it is, but we recognize that the system is designed to keep you in the dark. We are here to shine a light on it, to wake you up, so that you can begin to pass this message on to everybody else. Please, as you're watching, if this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform, because on this platform, we want to really empower you to be able to take informed decisions. We're not here to just talk about problems. We can talk about problems all day. Oh, look at what happened. Oh, how that happened. People like to talk about problems. We want you to know that you are part of the solution. And we are showing you the steps you can take to become even more relevant in that solution. We are giving you the information that you can use to begin to awaken each of your community to start making that change. You can make that change. That's what we're talking about here. We don't want to just talk. Oh, just listen. Oh, look at how good I talk. No. It's important that the information that we give you now, that you share. Please share and subscribe this information. Share this broadcast. Make it reach as many people as possible. Because these are things that nobody's talking about. It's not been spoken about on many platforms. What we want you to do is to be able to be empowered enough to free, your fellow people. Make them aware of the steps we can take. And we have that power. The government has conditioned us to believe that we have no power. I'm here to change that mindset. And I'm here to wake us up. So I'll be doing more programs like this. Keep in mind, the area you need to focus on. There's more areas that we're looking at. But this is the area that you should tell each and every community. This is in English. I will come back and do another one. I need to wrap up a little bit now. I'll be back again later on. But we have to be doing this over and over to wake our people up. Ask yourself that question in your community. How many of you, if you're going to say your road is bad in your community, yes, I agree. But are you playing your part? Are you holding the government to account? Are you ensuring that the money that the local government that's not supposed to get, that you are going to the State House Assembly and you are arguing for that money to come in, and you're ensuring that that money comes in to fix your community, not into anybody's pocket? This has to be a collective effort, because if you are doing it collectively, nobody's going to steal. If it's benefiting your community, then you all benefit. You will have that road, you will have that school, you will have that bridges, you will have that water, and you are laying the foundation of how to do things right for the coming generation. What's not to like? What's not to like? What is not to like in all we're saying? That's all we're saying. We're just saying, take that time, think about what we're just saying here. Please help us share this broadcast. We need to reach more and more people. This is really, really important stuff. And I know it's not the things that people like to hear. Oh, this one talk, that one talk. We are giving you the clear steps you can take within your community. Look at this. Look. The money is there for local government. But if you do not hold those to account, the local government, the chairman, the State House Assembly, the governor, if you don't hold them to account to release those funds, you will continue to suffer. And they will take from those funds and they'll give you crumbs. But if you participate as mandated within the Constitution, it is mandated within the Constitution that you participate collectively in your community, those roads will get built. Don't forget, election is only once every 4 years. But your participation has to be on a daily basis. Your participation in your own area, in the things that are lacking, has to be on a daily basis. Weekly. Like I said, many of you will spend 30, 40 hours in a church, 30, 40 hours in a mosque. How many hours do you spend to look at the roads that is bad in your community and how to fix it? How many hours do you spend? That's the question. How many people will say, come and collect crumbs? You go and do that. But you fail to realize that if you all work together, that road, it will get fixed in no time because of the pressure and the effort you put together collectively. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm going to leave that on the screen. I want you to really consider what is being said here. I'm going to come back and talk about it later on. But I wonder, for time purposes, I need to crack on and talk about the second part of the discussion I talked about, which is Lance Corporal Martins Idakwini. I want you to listen to his story as well. Please do share that. Now, let's go to that. So we will come back and talk about this, but you now know, if we're going to talk about failure of governance, we now need to know that this information now, we have the right to participate in our governance. We need to organize ourselves from one community to the next and begin to hold our governance to account. I know people are saying it's impossible, but that's what we need to start. Let us start the process. We will even organize the training. So that's why I'm asking you, please, the best you can do, help us share this broadcast to reach more people. The more people we can reach, the more we can get some materials in place, and even maybe can get a community to organize such materials and train our people to be able to know the steps they can take to hold their governance to account. People feel powerless, but yet the power is there because it's been hidden from us. We've not been able to exercise it. So I hope that makes sense. Please do share this podcast. Give us a thumbs up. Go to Citizen AY on that backup channel. Give us a thumbs up. Help us reach more people. Now, I'm going to pause that there for a minute. I want to quickly touch on this. This is we'll come back again. We're going to be doing that program over and over and asking a question. And I'll be asking the question: how many hours are you spending a week in your community to solve your problems? No road, no water, no light, no school. No God is going to come and do it for you. It is your community effort that will give you the result. And the politicians know that, so they want you to go to church. So they never focus and solve the problem, because when you're solving the problem, that means there's less money for them to loot. They don't want you to know. These are the key things that we're bringing to your attention. Now, okay, let's come back to the next one. So here is Lieutenant Corporal. Lieutenant Corporal Lance Corporal Martins Idakwini. He is currently in jail. 2 years and 8 months now since he should have been released. He's not been released by the federal government. Let me see if I can find that video for you quickly, and I'll play that for a few minutes, and I have to wrap up in the next 10-15 minutes. I need to attend to something, but what I want to do is to show you that. Let me see if I can show you. Can I show you? I'll show you a section. Let me just quickly find that for you first. Now, you remember back in 2020, July 2020, he exposed the lie of the federal government, the military. Buratai, he mentioned Buratai in his broadcast. Now, currently, he's been in detention, and there's a video that was smuggled out, not video, a voice message that was smuggled out that I played yesterday. What I'd like you to do is to go and watch it. Let me get that out. And I'm just going to play a little section of it. Basically, he's been in jail for 2 years and 5 months now, and 2 years and 8 months, and he should be freed. Now, I think it will be obvious to you now that, like I said, that the politicians are our problem. We need to work together to free ourselves collectively. So here we go. Let me listen to this one. I'll show you what I mean. 1 second. On the screen is Lance Corporal Martins Idakpene. We are calling for him to be freed by the Nigerian military. I'm going to play you the video of him when he first came onto the scene, I think right about 2020, when he started exposing what the military were doing. And listen to it, then I will then play you a recent voice message. I won't play all of it, but I'll there we go. Here we go.
Most especially in any constitution, any constitution. The nation, loyalty, the nation, the army, and the chain of command rely on the continuing allegiance, commitments, and support of all who serve. Those who are placed in positions of authority must be loyal. Underline that word. Must be loyal to their subordinates, representing their interests, faithfully dealing with compliance thoroughly, and developing their abilities through progressive training. For their parts.
So that was him back in July 2020. Now here's what he just said. Now you will only hear his voice. I want you to just hear a quick synopsis of it.
You should call yourself.
Sorry, wait a minute.
Chief of Defense.
1 minute. So I want you to just hear him now. What you're seeing on the screen is we are demanding for that the free Lance Corporal Martin Idakpene. He must be freed. He's done nothing wrong. He must be freed. That's what you see going across the screen right there. And I'm asking you all to help us share this broadcast. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go and play the voice note. Listen to his voice now. His voice is going to come out. Let me play that for you. 1 second, please. I'll play the voice note. Listen to his voice note. You can hear it. Came out a few days ago. And what you're with the song "How Long Gonna Go to Suffer" is telling us what's going on, and I want us to really be aware. The song in the background is "How Long Gonna Go to Suffer." It's a song I wrote. You can download it on iTunes and on Spotify as well. It's on there. It's "How Long Gonna Go to Suffer." But there's a little clip that you can see just up to my left as I'm facing the screen here, that you can see me pointing sort of towards it. So what I want you to do is listen to his words now. Let's listen to his words. So listen to his voice now. It's coming up.
I am Lance Corporal Idakpene Martins. Recording as of today, 19th of February 2023.
Yeah, it was smuggled out. Sunday. It was February.
I'm still in detention. This is my 2 years and 8 months in the bedroom. Up to now, nothing has been done.
2 years and 8 months, oh.
This is a picture of my feeding.
I don't know if we have the picture there, but
they feed us 2 times.
Yeah.
Per day.
Feed them 2 times per day.
Afternoon and evening.
That's the voice you hear anyway.
Until they brought us new GOC, Major General GM Recruit. It has now started feeding us 3 times daily, morning, afternoon, and evening. Though we are entitled to 5,000 naira per feeding per day. Well, they are feeding us 250 naira per meal. That is 500 naira feeding per day. That was as before. But now, the present time of this new GOC, Major General Mutku, you're feeding us. That is 750 per feeding per day. That is 250 naira per meal. This is my picture.
So I'm going to stop there
Previous
anyway.
days.
1 minute. So what I'm doing basically is the voice has been smuggled out. And I wanted to just hear that. So he's still in detention. He's still in detention. Now the lawyer, from what we understand, by all accounts, the lawyer has not been at all helpful. Apparently, just to give you a quick synopsis of it, if I can find some information, because keep in mind, this has just been smuggled out. So what we're trying to do, I'll read some things to you briefly. It says here, my first lawyer, Barrister Tokwe Akinyode, was aware of this law, but he allowed himself to be compromised by the Nigerian army. So the law he's quoting is this: according to the Armed Forces Act A20 Section 121, granted the military to arrest its personnel on investigation purpose and detention must not exceed the duration of 90 days. Section 122 subsection 6 of the Act provide that such personnel is entitled to immediate release unless if the release will be a threat to the national security, of which I am not a threat to the national security. So the lawyer, obviously, Barrister Tokwe Akinyode, has from what he's saying, it looks like he's been compromised. He knew that according to Armed Forces Act 20, the army lacked the power to arrest its personnel except for investigation purposes, and the investigation will not exceed 90 days. And there will be a special report every 8 days before the expiration of the 90 days, why the investigation is taking too long. Section 122 said that such personnel is entitled to immediate release, except his release will be a threat to the national security. So when they granted me the bail conditionally, he didn't argue with them. Number two, I attended almost 10 court martial sittings on my case, which was first sitting inauguration 8 October 2020, Barrister Tokwe A. Second sitting 26th of October 2020, Barrister Tokwe. Now I'm not going to play all of it because I need to wrap up now. But you can watch that video. It's on Citizen AY backup channel on YouTube. It's also available on Citizen AY Facebook as well, for you to look at and listen in its entirety. But we are calling for Martins Idakwini, free Lance Corporal Martins Idakwini. He must be freed. It's been in the jail now for, like I said, like the picture said, 2 years and 8 months. So let's just bring that picture up so you can remember. So 2 years and 8 months. Let me see if I can make that smaller. Can I make that smaller? And I can bring it up like so, because I want you to see the entirety of what has been done. So what has been done here is unjust. He only exposed what's been done, and he was using the Nigerian Constitution to defend himself, and they didn't want that. Oh, sorry, it's okay. So I want you all to please help us share this broadcast. And like I said, one of the things here we go. So you can see that now. So you can see in detention for over 2 years and 8 months. You heard him say it. So watch that video and hashtag free Martins Idakwini. Put the hashtag, share it. These are things, simple things we can do to raise awareness of his plight. And you can share that broadcast that I did. Share it on as many platforms as possible to try and raise the level of awareness, to bring attention to what has been done to him. It is very, very wrong. What I will do is I'm going to be back later on. To give you further updates as to how things are, what I'll be doing next. I'll probably be back later on with more further updates. But I want to thank you all very much for joining this podcast. In the end, like I said, many of what we need to do now, we're not aware of our right to participate in our own governance by holding them to account. We're going to be running programs. I'll be doing some things. You'll be seeing some videos where I'm going to be doing some things to show how the steps we can take to get people to take part in their governance. And, you know, the more of us that can do that, the better. So that way, you know, we can begin to take control of our own destiny. We've been lied to so many times. The government have prevented us from knowing that we can hold them to account. We need to use that knowledge to now go for the things we need and empower ourselves. And interestingly enough, that once we start exercising that, it would lead us to the point where we can go for a referendum. The goal is to achieve referendum. Please, I keep saying to you, people don't understand. When we're trying to do something and to achieve Yoruba Nation, this is a path along to that process that will lead us to that process. By exercising your right to self-determination under this constitution, you will now see the flaws within the constitution, and you can confidently go forward and say, right, we are going for self-determination. And you can put that, your local government officials will have to do your bidding because you are now active in participating. They are telling you what to think, but you now need to tell them what to think, because sovereignty is yours. Number one, sovereignty belongs to you. Number two, you have the right to participate in governance. When you combine those two together, that becomes a powerful tool to achieve the goal of referendum. The goal is referendum. The goal is referendum for Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, and so on. That's the goal. But we need to first wake the people up to get used to participating in their own governance. And we've shown you the blueprint. Quick rundown on that. Let me just show you what I mean. This bit here is what I want you to look at. In that constitution, the participation by the people. Hold on to that. Every community, organize yourselves. If you're going to talk about bad roads in your community, no light, no hospital, how many hours a week do you spend organizing yourselves into communities to go and beginning to question your local government chairman, your local government councillor, your state house of assembly? How many hours? This has to be done community by community. We have that responsibility. We're going to show you how you're going to do that. So be watching out for some videos about that. When we do that, share it, because we want every community to take this step. So we'll do it in Yoruba, we'll do it in English, and hopefully, and in Igbo as and when, you know, that's what we need to do. We need to start with this. We can do this. It is doable. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Before we go, I want to play that song again. Please don't forget, the politicians versus the people. Yes, it is delicately balanced. The many of the problems that the politicians face, they created it, and they've tried to use the people to fight us to now create division. But they are the ones behind it. The rent, for example, people who are born in Lagos, Yoruba people, they cannot live in their own town. They have to move out. But they are not providing any solutions. So you can see that this problem is way deeper than that. But by participating in our governance, we can begin to redress it. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, please, it's important to understand. Don't fall for the game. Don't fall for the game. The politicians and the people. It's a game, and we, the people, must win, because sovereignty belongs to the people, not the politicians. Sovereignty belongs to the people, not the politicians. Let me show you what I mean, in case you didn't follow. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You can see that it doesn't belong to the politicians. It belongs to the people. And when you work together as a community, you achieve your goal. It is that simple. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. If this resonates with you, please subscribe. Go ahead to Citizen Network backup channel and subscribe now. Please help us. And also, if you want to give us stars on Facebook, we appreciate that too as well. Help us, because we need to really ramp up on this drive to raise the awareness in every community. Every community must play a part by holding their governance to account. That is the only way you'll get that road, that water, that light, that school, that bridges, that healthcare, and so on and so forth. We will come back and do more demonstration of how we can do that as a community. Trust me, it does work. We must continue. We need to push forward. So thank you for watching. Before I go, let us play this tune here. 1 second. I want you to just hear that again. How long am I going to suffer? We have the means in which we can free ourselves. We must take that step. Here we go.
My people, domination. How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Now he put that yeah constitution for your head, yo. That's all. Abdul Salam na fake man. Na military man can't tell you na say una get constitution. No be lie, na lie, no na fake, na fraud. That yeah constitution. Now in there they claim close to na high, yo. Make una wake up, make una wake up. Sharp, sharp. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? My people, I won't make una know say oh. Self-determination, oh, now you're right, oh. Confirm. My people, I won't make una know say oh. Self-determination, now you're right, oh. Confirm. You must fight for your right. You must stand for your right. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people, for your village, for your town, for your city, any inside country where you dey, oh. Atiku, Emilokan, or Peter Obi no be the solution. Na the solution, na it be the solution. Make una wake up, make una wake up. Time down knock, bagang bagang. Be Yoruba man, you be Biafran. I won't make una know say self-determination. Now you're right, you. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? Yoruba land na your land, yo. Middle belt na your land, yo. Hausa land na your land, yo. Biafra land na your land, yo. No be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. Ra 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 ra. Oh.
Thank you all very much for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. And of course, you can download this song. You can really be of help to us here on this platform if you download the song on iTunes and Spotify. It's on there. The song is available right now. How long Una Gonna Suffer? It speaks to a lot of the problems we face. It's in pidgin English. I bet when I help you go download them. We now for pidgin we take sing the song, sing them. Now for make una share them to una people for home. People waiting for village, for small town, for small, for yonder. Well, when I know what I mean, for our own place. Make you now help us share them. I beg, me no vex. Now so we take Siam for now. We'll go come back later. I want to greet all of you now. I'm okay with concession. I want to thank you very much for listening. Please do share the broadcast. In the end, all of us have the power to make that change. We have the power as mandated within the 1999 Constitution, participation in our governance by holding them to those in power to account. We put them in power. Sovereignty belongs to us. We need to exercise it collectively. Thank you for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Thank you and bye for now. Bye. Bye for now. Bye.